Waffle TV. Last time we solved problems involving decimals and fractions. That is, changing from decimals to fractions and from fractions to decimals. And we promised you that today we're going to do something different. And of course, we are here on decimal fractions. This is different. It is not decimals and fractions, but it is decimal fractions. So what is this all about? These are a combination of decimals multiplied and divided in one problem. How can we solve this? First, by the end of the lesson, we should be able to divide and multiply decimals combined, and equally to be able to simplify decimal fractions. And to do this, there is a procedure to follow, and this procedure is as follows. The first thing you do is identify by counting the number of decimal places in the numerator as well as the denominator. The next thing to do is to equalize this number of decimal places by multiplying either by 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, depending on the number of decimal places. And the last thing is to simplify or divide the numbers that you have as whole numbers, not as decimals. And at the end of it, you multiply across and express your answer as a decimal. So we go into practice so that you can understand better how to manipulate these numbers. Here is our second example. The first step is to identify number of decimal places above and below. Above we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 decimal places. And below we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And below also we have 5 decimal places. So if they are already equal, both sides are equals, we don't have anything to equalize. What we have to do at this point in time is to express the number as whole numbers and simplify. So as whole numbers, above we're going to have 325 times 276 times 10, this over 13 times 25 times 92. Like I said in the previous example, we should consider the least number that can divide a numerator and a denominator so that we don't get confused. Let's start with 2. For instance, 2 can go into 10 5 times, and 2 can go into 92 46 times. We can take 5 and 25. 5 into itself 1 time, and 5 into 25 5 times. We can take 5 and 325. 5 into itself 1 time, and 5 into 32 first is 6, remainder 2. 5 into 25 5 times. This is 65. 13 can divide itself and 65. So 13 into itself 1 time, 13 into 65 5 times. We can check also 2 can divide 276 and 46. 2 into 46 23 times, and 2 into 276 will be 1 time here, 2 times here, 138. 23 into itself 1 time, and 23 can go into 138 6 times. So with this, there is nothing below and above that can simplify. So we multiply across. 5 times 6 times 1 is going to give us 30, and below we have 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. So our final answer will be 30. This is what you do as far as this is concerned. Find a numerator and a denominator which has a common factor and simplify, and at the end you multiply across, just as we have done in this second example. Now let's go into the third example and see what happens. In this example, we realize that there is a mix of subtraction and addition. And here we have to be very careful, because when we have all multiplication, you can count the number of decimal places and go straight into simplifying. But at this point, we are going to first of all solve the subtraction. That's what is in bracket first, and what this addition, which is also in bracket first, before we restate, count the number of decimal places, and proceed with simplification. So first, we're going to work out this 2.3, take away 1.95. To subtract this, first you can fix a 0 here, and 0 minus 5, it cannot. So we'll borrow from here. You will left with 2, you bring 1 here, 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. Here is 2, take away 9, it cannot. You come here to borrow, you're left with 1, and you bring 1, it becomes 12. 12 take away 9 is 3. You fix your decimal. 1 take away 1 is 0. Then we go below to add 4.2 plus 0.3. 2 plus 3 is 5. Fix your decimal. And 4 plus 0 is 4. So we restate this problem. 3.5 times, instead of this, we are going to write this 0.35 times 0.18. All this over, instead of this, we are going to write the answer we've had, which is 4.5 times 1.4 times 0.25. At this point, we have all multiplication, and we can count our number of decimal places across. And above, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Below, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And since below is less, we equalize it by multiplying by 10. So that as whole numbers, we're going to have this to be 35 times 35 times 18. All this over 45 times 14 times 25 times 10. Remember, we are equalizing here. So let's find a numerator and denominator that can simplify. Let's take 5. 5 into 10, 2 times. 5 into 35, 7 times. 7 into itself, 1 time. 7 into 14, 2 times. 2 into itself, 1 time. 2 into 18, 9 times. 9 into itself, 1 time. 9 into 45, 5 times. 5 into itself, 1 time. 5 into 35, 7 times. And if you check 7, 25, 2, nothing can simplify. So we multiply across. 7 times 1 is 7. And below we have 25, 1 times 1 times 25 times 2 is 50. We have to express our answer as a decimal. So we go somewhere and work this out. That is 7 divided by 50. 7 cannot divide 50. You fix a decimal point and affix a 0 here. 70 divided by 50 is 1 time. 1 times 50 is 50. The difference will be 20. 20 is less, so you can affix another 0. 200 divided by 50 is 4 times. 4 times 50 is 200. And the difference here is dash. So answer as a decimal will be 0.14. This is what we had for you today, and we believe you've learned something. If you did, consider subscribing to our channel. Give us a thumbs up and comment so that we can improve on the service. We shall meet next time to solve word problems in decimals. See you in our next lesson, and ciao.